Hi, it's Aliana. How are you and how is your animals? Welcome to this space. I'm Aliana. I'm a celebrity animal medium and an author. And today I would love to share a message with you about how we move on in this present moment in our life that we share with our animals. What do I mean by moving on? Well, there might be something that you recently have gone through with your animals. Maybe your horse just had laminitis. Maybe your dog has had diarrhea for several weeks. Maybe you had your cat checked out and they couldn't find anything at the vet's clinic, but your cat is still low in their energy and moving in a different way than he normally would. So, moving on, when we do share our life with animals, sometimes we go through things. We go through something within ourselves, in our own life. Sometimes our animals, they go through things as well. And as an animal medium, I have a big passion that animals, they have a voice in this world and they can speak freely of what is truly going on within themselves, like what is going on in their life. So today I feel it's very important to have some more clarity on what it is that your animals is actually going through. So you can also tell the difference from what is you and your inner world and what is them and their inner world. But there might be something that you are fully aware of that your animals they have been going through, or you are still here filled with questions about what is truly going on. So today in this conversation about how do we move on from here, then I want to share some of the three questions. I ask my animals a lot of questions, but I want to share the three questions that I often use to check in with my own animals. And it's kind of like helping me on a daily basis to support them in the best way. And it is helping me with the daily management. I got horses in my life and I got cats in my life. I had dogs until a few years ago. And especially if we got different kinds of animals, for me, it's still very important to know what it is that they're going through. Sometimes they are very balanced, and it can be daily chats about how their night was, what they want in the moment, what they want later to eat, or, there's just something profound in being in that space on a daily basis because if we pay attention to everything that they do tell us, then we will also notice if all of the sudden there are something within them, whether it's emotionally or energetically or physically, like they will tell us if something is going on. It can also be from us. It can be something that is coming from us that they also pick up on, and then they're kind of like mirroring the way that we feel. So, moving on from here, I've often found myself in a time with my animals where I had so many questions that would just pile up all the time. And sometimes I had so many questions that it turned into frustration, it turned into stress and worry and even anxiety, that kind of anxiety that would keep me up at night. Like, am I doing the right thing? Is there something that I can do more? Or when I experienced that my horses, they passed away. I've had several horses in my life. So if I experience a dog or the passing of one of my horses, even though they return to me in spirit and they communicate very loud and very clearly, and I often see them with my eyes open, then it was just these questions, they would pile up. And for me, I would always find myself in those moments where it was that inner experience where I knew that I could ask myself that question, like, how do we move on from here? But I knew that by asking my animals the questions first, then it would really help me to feel that, okay, I got a plan that I can relate to. I got something that I can do, whether it would be reach out for vet assistance or it would be to reach out to an amazing hoof trimmer or whether it would be to reach out to a woman that knows so much about homeopathy. For me, it became just so I want to say life changing that these daily check-ins with my animals that like it would even help me if something was truly shifting sometimes in a drastic way because I would feel more calm, more present, more centered, more grounded, and I would be way better to receive from them where all of the sudden I could really feel that the things that I do on a daily basis that in urgent care, like it helped me to stay more clear within my mind and I could tackle my emotions in the best way where my thoughts and my emotions they wouldn't get in my way in helping my animals if something was just like urgent. So moving on from here, I know that many of you can relate to this, that we are standing sometimes in situations in life where it's all about our animals and the thoughts and the emotions can get in the way and we just don't know how to get out of this cycle of the way that we feel within ourselves. So moving on from this, that's why the daily check-ins on a daily basis is so helpful because it's gonna help you not only to communicate with your animals on a deeper level, it's also gonna help you to have more clarity and it's gonna help you to feel less of worry, less of stress, less of frustration, less of anxiety. It's gonna help you to breathe more freely so you know that you are doing the right thing and just know when you are here, you're already doing the right thing. And there's always something when we have animals in our life that we can learn from. And wow, I feel like when I sit here and talk to you now, there's so much I want to share with you. But the daily check-ins, it's gonna help you to feel that moving on from this moment, no matter what you're going through, that asking your animals these three questions is going to help you somehow to move on from this. There's a saying that this too shall pass. And I will say our animals, they always know what they're going through. And sometimes when they are going through imbalances and even illness, they will still know whether they will heal from this. Animals, they will know if this is the last chapter of their life. They will also know often what they need for them to recover. And yeah, there's just so much that we can receive from our animals. It brings so much value on a daily basis. So if you are going through something and your animals, they already vet to the vet's clinic and they have been going through something where they needed urgent care, just know that asking them these three questions can also help you to really move on now with some new clarity. And the first question that I always ask my animals after saying good morning and we have our little moments, I'm always asking them, how was your night? Always. How was your night? Always. Because that is something that they have just gone through. So I always ask my animals, how was your night? And then I ask them, The second question that is, how are you now? Like, how are you now? And then I ask them the third question that is there something that you really want me to know? These are like the three questions that I often use in the morning. Of course, my animals, they know that they can always chat with me, so often they will share something with me if they wanted to come through before I even get to ask them a question. But it's a relationship that grows on a daily basis, and you feel that strength within yourself, and you also experience the strength from your animals, and you just feel when you choose to have a relationship with them, but you also choose to have a relationship where you feel like you're always getting to know each other like even better. Asking these three questions can really bring you some clarity. So what I want to encourage you to do here, after being here with me, hanging out here with me in this space, then I would love to invite you to open up a journal. If you don't have a journal already, I want to invite you to get yourself a journal that can be a journal where you write down the conversations that you have with your animals that is in your life, but also in spirit. Like, that's something that we can do as well. But today it's all about the animals that is in your life. So just know that having that journal these days, I got this journal, and this is where I write down all of my conversations. And sometimes you can just be in the experience first thing in the morning, but I want to advise you to write this down, especially if you are feeling an overwhelm of thoughts and emotion and you just need some clarity on how to move on from here. But write down the name and the date, like the date of today or the day that you might be listening to this, and then you write down the name of one of your animals and then these three questions, and just take your time. Don't rush this. Just choose a moment where you sit down and you feel like you got all the time in the world to receive from them, and just allow everything to come through until you experience a natural stop in your writing. And then you can move on to the second and then on to the third question. It's going to help you to feel that there's something that you needed to hear so you can move on as well. Because our animals, they're so intelligent. It's that highest intelligent. They know how they can move on. So, but we need to be in this together and get those insights from them so we can also know how to show up for them and support them. And we can also really lean into what it is that they are sharing with us so we can follow a path where we bring in those people that are truly sometimes meant to help us in our life with our animals. So communicating with animals, it's not only, enjoying moments with someone that you really love, but it's also a space where you can get to know yourself better and you can get to know them way better. If you're all into what animals hear and in spirit they are communicating, I'm welcoming you to the Siva Mediums. That's my monthly membership where I share 3 videos with you every week, where I share more of my teachings in animal mediumship. Currently, the May calendar for you to book your own animal reading if you want a full conversation with your animals in your life or in spirit, that is also currently open. And I will make sure that there's some link here for you to follow here on YouTube. So for now, I just want to let you know that I'm here with you, and I really believe in you moving forward right now with your animals, where clarity is gonna help you in a new way. So this overwhelm of thoughts and emotions, they don't pile up within you. You can also follow me on Instagram. That is where I am hanging out on a daily basis. Sending you and your animals all the best, and I wish you a beautiful weekend ahead.